Good morning, good morning. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Dara Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe at pickledpepperscreative.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and you are in my craft room. So welcome to Saturday, May 18th, 2024. Normally, I am here on Thursday, and I had planned to be here on Thursday this week as well, but I didn't feel the greatest, so here I am with you again on Saturday morning for some crafting and coffee. I hope you've brought your coffee cups along and you're ready to create something fun. So how are you? Oh, let's make sure we're hooked up here the way we want to be. How are you today? I hope that you have had a fantastic week, and I hope you're feeling in the crafting mood. If you are new here, say good morning down in the comments below, and if you've been here multiple times, good morning, and say hello in the comments below. Good morning. I see Amy's on. So I just like to chat a little bit in the morning or when we come on, to give people a chance to find me in their news feed. Oh, you said good morning, sunshine. So cute. How are you? Did you have a good week? Also, when you come in, that was for you, Amy. Also, when you come in, let me know if you've been crafty at all this week, or if you have any plans on being crafty this weekend. I obviously am, because here I am. And I have a couple of events that I'm preparing for as well, a card class and an online retreat. So I am definitely going to be creative today outside of this morning. So welcome. We'll just give another second or so for people to find me in their news feed, and then we'll get started creating. Also, while we're creating, go ahead and chat with me. I super duper love to chat with you. Leave your comments or questions in the comment section below. I may not see it while we're creating, because sometimes I'm really focused on what we're doing, but I will definitely go back and give you a written response at the end of the live. Good morning, Beth. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Crafty card day. Is that what we want to call it? Crafting and cards. And Amy, you were crafty this week. Fantastic. Beth, I hope that you've been crafty this week too. Thank you so much for being here. So I do have a couple of announcements. I will go ahead and give the announcements, and then we'll get started. So let's go ahead and turn down to my desktop. My busy box is on my desk, so you're going to see that first for a second here. Here we go. Oh, Beth, you're sewing. Fantastic. That's fun. What are you sewing? Let's get us in the right position here. I think that's good. Maybe up a little bit. All right, I think I'll put my catalog. Oh no, I'll put the sheet here. How about that? See if we have good placement. You guys, give me a thumbs up if this looks good. I think it looks good for me. Actually, it looks really good for me. Okay, so I was saying, let me know if you are being crafty this week. Leave me comments or questions in the comment section below. Give a thumbs up or a heart if you like what we're creating today. And if you're feeling bold enough to share my video with your crafty friends, I would like that as well. All right, so, oh, a tree skirt and car trash bags. Hey, that's fantastic. I may have to see you about their car trash bags. Right now I recycle grocery bags. So, okay. So, let's go ahead and talk about the announcements that we have, and then we'll get started creating. The first announcement that I have, I alluded to this last week when we were here live, and that is the starter kit special. So you will get all of these things if you purchase the starter kit. You'll get all of these things in addition to the regular supplies in your starter kit. So the starter kit is $99. You get $125 worth of products for $99, and shipping is free. And in addition to that, you'll get this $82 value. It's all in color, so you'll get the in color stamp pads, the in color designer series paper, the in color Stampin' Right markers, and in color cardstock. So it's a fantastic deal. So we have that going on. And then on Tuesday, let's see, I'm gonna give you the exact date. We have a free shipping day coming. So it is on May 21st. It's for 24 hours only. And there will be free shipping on orders of $75 or more. So if you have shopping to do, or you have friends that you want to bundle your orders together, if it comes to $75, then your shipping is free. Who doesn't like free shipping? I love free shipping. So, and if you're a demonstrator, you get to take advantage of that as well as your discount. So that is an awesome, awesome deal. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with our creating. Oh, Nympha, good morning. Happy crafty Saturday. I was going to be here on Tuesday, but I didn't feel, or Thursday. I didn't feel the greatest. So we're here on Saturday again. I am so thrilled that you guys showed up for me on Saturday. Super duper happy about that. Okay. Oh, Beth, so how much do you have to spend each quarter? So the quarterly minimum is $300. And I believe it is, you don't have to meet that in the quarter that you join. So you have that quarter for free. And then it's $300 per quarter. So that is with your, without the discount. So you'll get your discount as well. All right, so let's talk about what we're using today. I actually had to pull a little bit of a switcheroo because the products that we were using today, and they are sold out. I've been waiting for a while to show them and share with you, but I haven't been able to yet. So we did a switcheroo, and it's okay because I love these as well. We're going to be using the Simply Zinnia Stamp Bundle. So the Simply Zinnia comes with the stamp set and the coordinating dies. It's order number 163480. They are online exclusives, which mean they are not in a printed catalog. So you can see them in my online store if you want to see these products up close, or if you would like to have them if you don't already. And there's a link in the description above to my online store. So here are the coordinating dies, and as you can see, there are extra. So there's this large die that coordinates with the Zinnia bundle here, and then there's one that goes with the single Zinnia, and then there are leaves and stems. Actually, these two, which we're going to be using today, we're using die cuts today, so not a whole great deal of stamping again today. We're using the dies, but you have these two flower dies. Can you see that they're textured? There's detail in them already, and I'll show you when we get started creating, as well as this leaf. However, you can stamp as well. So they're extra little doodads there. This is an interesting little die. I haven't used it. It looks like oh, you know, it actually it goes there too. They're little. They look like starbursts. But when I look at the designer series paper, let me bring that a little closer to you. You can see. Can you see that on the inside there? That little lemon lolly starburst circle. So it goes there. Huh. Yeah, so there are quite a few dies here. We're going to use the textured dies that don't require any stamping. And so because of that, I've done the die cutting ahead of time, or else we would be here all Saturday long and you wouldn't have time to create. And we don't want that. Saturdays are for creating. So we're using the Simply Zinnia Stamp Bundle, so the dies in the stamp set, and we're using the coordinating designer series paper. Let's set this to the side. Oh yes, Nympha. I love when stamping and creating is made easy. Anytime I can cut something out, or even fussy cut, punch it out, I am all about that. All right, so the designer series paper is called Flowering Zinnias. And we'll take a quick peep at the designer series paper. Let's pull it out some. We're going to be using this sheet that's on the top, and I'll pull it out. Maybe I'll cut it. I've cut it ahead of time, but maybe I'll cut it just so that you can see. You can get 6 cards from one single sheet of designer series paper. Oh, you like the Saturday hour, Nympha? You know, I got such an overwhelming positive response to it. I am trying to rearrange my schedule so that we can be here every Saturday. People really like it, and it's good for me too. I work full-time during the day, and so Thursdays are really busy for me, and I come right home and jump right on the live. So I have to admit that I like it a bit too. And, you know, I already do classes and retreats over the weekend as well. So, oh, and Beth likes it too. Yes, I think that, you know, like I said, I was not here by design today, but having been here for the second Saturday in a row, I think I like it too. So thank you so much for the feedback. All right, so here's the designer series paper that we'll be using today. Let's just go ahead and put it on the bottom because we may or may not cut it. But here are the other patterns that are in this pack. And I'll do a quick flip over. And I will tell you that I have, as you can see, and we're going to be doing today, fussy cut out of this sheet. I love it for that. It is so bold with color. And we have a fun card today with a little bit of a twist. So, all right, and then here are the reverse sides. I love it when the reverse side is a simple pattern because then I'm not so torn, for one, about using the pretty side. When they're both pretty, I am so torn about that. And the other thing is that they usually always coordinate, so it makes color matching easy peasy peasy. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Otherwise, I think that we will be here for a long time. So we're going to be using this piece of designer series paper. We have a full sheet. This is one of the matching colors with the designer series paper. It is Melon Mambo. Anytime you want to know which papers coordinate with which cardstock sheets, it's right on the back. Right on the back of the designer series paper pack. I'll put this a little closer to, let's see, is the, oh, there's the order number if you like that paper. So this is Melon Mambo. Let's bring in our Stampin' trimmer. And let me tell you a little bit of a disclaimer. The card that we're making, it's going to take one whole sheet of cardstock. So you won't be able to get 2 cards from the one sheet. And then I've also brought along the adhesive back shiny sequins. As you can see, they coordinate really well with the designer series paper. So we're going to be using that. And then let's tell you the dimensions of the additional pieces that we have. So our card base, we're going to cut it in a minute. I want to show you how we're going to cut and score it. And it's going to be 5.5 by 10.5. So we'll get to that in just a second. I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss. It's 5.25 by 4. We have another piece of Blackberry Bliss. It's basic white. It is also 5.25 by 4. We have our designer series paper, which we're going to cut, but it's 3 3/4 by 5. And then we have a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. We have basic white that is 3 by 3 1/4. And then finally, we have a piece of designer series paper that is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. All right. So let's get started with our cardstock, and then we will move on to the designer series paper. We'll cut them both, and then we'll get started with some assembly. All right, so remember our card base is 10.5 by 5.5. So usually, if it's 5.5, I would turn the card, let's slide this down a little bit, the cardstock so that we're cutting along the long side, and that's how you get 2 cards out of it. But this time we need the 10.5 inches, so we're gonna cut 5.5 lengthwise. So we're gonna go with the short side of the cardstock at the top of the trimmer. And we will give it a nice cut at 5.5. And then a normal piece of cardstock is 8.5 by 11, I'm sorry. So since we know it's 11, we just need to take a 1/2 inch off. So we're gonna take that 1/2 inch off. Let me point out what I'm doing too. Our Stampin' trimmer has, so here's our 0 mark on the cut line. You can cut on either side if you're cutting 1.5 inches or less. You can use their numbers here to use between, I think maybe 1 3/4 inch. So anything up to that, you can use the reverse side. Or if you're more comfortable, you can go on this side as well. But I'm gonna go on the short side, and we'll cut this 1/2 inch right off. Let's make sure. My cutter may be off this morning, meaning my eyes. Oh yes, Nympha, you said no worries. We need to use the whole sheet of cardstock. Amen. Amen. I have so much paper that this is nothing. That is so true. All right, so now we have our piece that is 5.5 by 10.5. We're going to make 3 score lines. So we'll score at 4 1/4, 5 1/4. So we're going 1 inch up each time, and then 6 1/4. So we need to swing the arm out here. Let's make a little room. We'll swing that arm right out so that we can get to 6 1/4. And boy, that's kind of hard for me to see from this angle. So I can only hope that I'm getting it right. This is my favorite trimmer, by the way, in case you didn't know. I talk about it all the time, but one of my favorite features is that it cuts and scores on the same track, and then we have the clear ruler here that you can see through. So I love that. All right, we'll set this aside for a moment. We'll cut our designer series paper. I just wanted to show you with this entire sheet of paper how we can get 6 cards from it, and then I wanted to show you how I'm cutting it for the card we're making today. So we need this piece to be 3 3/4 by 5. So we're gonna cut, we need a portrait cut with the flowers going in the right orientation. So we're going to cut at 3 3/4 initially. And then I want a little bit of the white showing, so I'm gonna cut it at 5 1/2 or even more. No, let's go ahead and cut it 5 1/2. We can cut it anywhere up to 6 inches and not disrupt the other side. But let's go ahead and cut it at 5 1/2. And remember that we need it to be 5 inches. So we'll cut it at 5 1/2. That way I have a little bit of white at the top, and then we have our extra piece here, and then we'll flip it right over and cut it down to 5. So now I'm cutting away a little bit of the flowers, but I'm okay with that because we have lots of flowers going on here. All right, and then what you have left over, you can cut that piece, the remaining piece that you need, that's 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, or you can cut it off the remaining big portion if you don't have enough left over to do that. But I think I have plenty of leftover here. I've been cutting into that paper, so, oh, we're already at 5 1/4, look at that. All right, now we're done with the trimmer. We can put that away. And I have additionally gone ahead, I did my fussy cutting, so I fussy cut a large flower. It doesn't matter which color. The cardstock, or I'm sorry, the designer series paper is so colorful, so it's gonna be matchy-matchy. If you're like me and you're matchy-matchy, then this paper works beautifully for that. And then I have a large circle die cut. I have in here the flowers that I die cut, the leaves that I die cut ahead of time. And then for my stamen, I have this little piece and this little piece. So this is pumpkin pie, this is lemon lolly, this is old olive, again the melon mambo, and the blackberry bliss. So nice and colorful, you guys. All right, let's get started with a little bit of assembly. I'm gonna put this aside. This is leftover from our whole sheet, but I don't want to get it confused with any of the pieces that we're using, so I'm just gonna tuck it behind me. And then we're gonna bring in our card base, and I'll show you how we're gonna do the card base. It is like a W fold, I think. So we're gonna fold it in the center. See that? Here were all 3 of our score lines. So we're gonna fold it in the center, and we'll give it a nice burnish with our bone folder. And then the two remaining folds, we're gonna fold them both down, and then we'll give it a nice burnish. So this is, I called it a W because that's what it looks like to me. Can you see the W there? There is a W. Now, what we're going to do is grab our Stampin' Seal Plus. We're gonna close that W right up. So we'll have a traditionally sized A2 card. So I'm just gonna open it and we're going to add adhesive in the valley. Okay, down in the valley where the green grass grows. Did you guys sing that when you were little? We did, I don't know what you would even call them, patty cake games, hand games. We had lots of them. All right, and we'll glue this right together. So we're going to glue it closed, and that's going to give us a little flap on the inside of our card. So that's where that is. Good morning, Julie. Welcome to Saturday. Thank you for hanging out on a Saturday. Everyone is liking the Saturdays better. And so I'm working really hard on my schedule to make it a thing. I think I kind of like it better also. All right, so let's add our layers to the front of the card. We're going to do that because it's the easiest to do. And then we don't have to account for these pieces. So they're going to layer like this. We have our Blackberry Bliss and our designer series paper, and we're going to just add a little bit of adhesive to the back and glue that right down. It's like sending the kids to the babysitter. That's what this is like. Maybe I should refer to it as that. I'm going to send the kids to the babysitter so someone's watching out for them and I don't have to anymore. I can go and play for a while. All right, we'll put this together. And then, so this is our card front. And so we're going to glue it right down. Oh my gosh, is that lovely? Aren't these colors lovely together? So we're going to go ahead and glue this with our Stampin' Seal Plus right to the front of the card. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, and we can actually do that now, we're going to bring in the inside layer, or I should say layers. So that extra piece of designer series paper that we cut, the 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, is going to go right on the, let's see, it would be your right edge. Hard for me to tell upside down. But it's gonna go right on the right edge, and then we'll stick this on the inside of our card, and that way we don't have to, we have fewer pieces of paper on our desktop. So fewer kids playing on the playground. We're going to send them to the babysitter. Oh, Ellen, yes, this paper is so beautiful. If you haven't seen it before, once the live portion of the video is done, I did a little bit of thumb through so you can see the other patterns in this pack. It is really, really beautiful. One of my favorite papers. This is my second pack of it, and I'll be ordering on free shipping day. And so I'm going to grab another pack because I'm going to use it as much as I can. Again, these are online exclusive, so you won't find them in a printed catalog, but you can see them online. All right, so can you see what we have going on here? Okay, so let's work on building. We're going to slide this aside for just a moment, and we're going to work on building all of our little pieces. Put that there. So I have 4 flower pieces here. We'll work with those and then we'll grab the others out. But I wanted to point out to you that these are both, oh, here, we can see right through. So both of the flowers that are in the die cuts, they're slightly different. And I'm pointing that out to you because I'm going to layer them. And we're going to layer them flat. Maybe I should use some liquid adhesive. I'm going to layer them, and I want the 2 that match to layer on top of one another. And I don't think it really matters, but it matters in that I'm gonna stagger them so that you're able to see both of the colors for each flower. That having been said, I'm kind of matching them up. So you see this little notch here? I'm gonna turn it around so that we, oh, there we go. I kind of have them in the same orientation, and I think I may have to flip them upside down to get that the best stagger. Yeah, so I'm gonna flip one of them in the opposite direction, and you know, it's not gonna stagger exactly because they're not symmetrical, but I just want to make sure that I'm able to see some of the Melon Mambo exposed. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. So you see how they have the two short little shapes, and it doesn't really matter. The only thing I'm doing is trying to maximize the stagger so that we're able to see as much as we're able to see from the flower that's on the bottom. And if you don't like it, you can turn them in the same direction if that works better. Seems like it might for this one. No, it's going to kind of work the same. Okay, so that's roughly where I want them. They don't have to be exactly the same. And then I'm going to add a little bit of liquid multi-purpose adhesive. And that's what I'm going to use to stick them down. The center is actually wide enough. You could use a dimensional if you wanted dimension there, and you could use your Stampin' Seal or Stampin' Seal Plus. Either will work. I chose the liquid so that if I needed to move them around a little bit, I could. And you know something fun that you can do as well? You can take your bone folder and give these a little curl on the ends. Have you ever used curling ribbon? When I was a little girl, curling ribbon was so fun, and we used it at every party. We used it for table decorations. It was all over. I don't think people use it as much anymore, but it's the same motion, if you will. All right, the next thing we're gonna do, oh yes, Julie, of course, 100%. I will definitely, I will go back and modify the description and put the dimensions in there. Yes, this is a really fun card. 100% I will. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is start building our stamen. And remember that the little star piece, we didn't use that. Oh, I put my liquid adhesive away. I'm gonna wanna do that as well, or use it as well with these little parts. We're gonna plop this right down in the center of each flower. And again, I like to use it because I have a little bit of time that I can readjust it before it sets. So if I need to slide it over, I have a little bit of time to do that. And that's why I love using the liquid multi-purpose glue. It is by Tombow, and it is in our catalog. And then here's the remaining part. Oh, I must have a little glue on my finger. Okay, and we're gonna stick these right down. So let's add a little bit of adhesive, and we're gonna stick that down in the middle. It's kind of an oval, and if you can see that, can you see how this is kind of an oval? Let me bring this closer so you can see. You see that's kind of an oval. So I am adding that pumpkin pie piece. Let's bring it like this. Right in the center of that oval. It looks like a little shower of fireworks, huh? And then that's what we have. All right. No, we don't need that fussy cut one just yet. The final thing that we're gonna do, so I'm gonna bring in my die cut and we are going to assemble the flowers that we've created right on the die. And I'm also making sure that I adhere these to one side because we have to leave room for our sentiment, which we'll look at those in a when we get to that point. We'll look at them. We need to add our leaves here, and let me bring in the actual card because I think we're going to need it. This is quite a large die cut, and let's turn it towards me. I think we need to know so that our leaves aren't hanging off the end of the card, because then it won't fit in your envelope, and that matters, right? We want our lovely card to fit inside of an envelope. So I just want to give it a dry run to see where we want the leaves. And then we're still leaving room for our sentiment, and we're going to plop that circle die cut right in the center of our card. So I think that looks kind of good. I'm okay with that. And I'm going to take this out and put a little glue on it and try to slide it underneath. I just feel a little more comfortable that way, so I know where it's going to be. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing with all three of them. Oh, Nympha, cut the flower in half and you'll have a turkey. You are so right. You are a true creative. As soon as you said that, I looked at it and I see exactly what you're seeing. You have a great imagination. That means you're super, super duper creative. That's my book of philosophy, and I'm sticking with it. But yeah, I do see that turkey. That is fantastic. I might have to try that out. You know how when you see something, sometimes you can't not see it? I think this is one of those things for me. All right, so let's go ahead and give a little bit of glue to our final leaf. And like I said, I'm not really particular about where I am applying the leaves. I just want to make sure that they're not going to hang over the edge of the card, because then we'll have a problem getting it into the envelope. All right, so one of these I'm going to, actually maybe both of them. Let's grab some dimensionals. If you have crafted with me before, you know that I love dimensionals. Beth says good call. Thank you. You know, if you have crafted with me, that I love dimensionals, and I don't know if there are any projects that I've ever completed that were entirely flat. I love dimension. Ooh, this is grand. Grand. I love it. Let's see, I'm just trying to decide if we need more dimensionals. Let's go ahead and try it with the 2. And then I got a little bit of the liquid glue down, which doesn't matter. We're gluing it anyways. We're gonna put it down on dimensionals, and I think I'll give a couple here too. And then we'll decide exactly where. This is so lovely. These colors together, especially the Blackberry Bliss and the Melon Mambo, I am really, really liking that. All right, I think this is good placement. So let's put our dimensionals aside for a moment. Oh, we're gonna need that, and I'm gonna plop these right down. while I've worked out the place that I want them to be, I think it's a good idea to adhere them. And then let's remove the adhesive here on the back. Boy, that's sticky. All right, and so we'll put this one down as well. And you know, I want it to make sense also in the direction of the stamen. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is lovely. Look at that. Isn't it lovely? I love it, love it, love it. All right. At this point, I think we can go ahead and stamp our sentiment. So let's bring in the stamp set so we can talk about the sentiments that are there. And I'll tell you which one that I elected to use. So this one is my absolute favorite. I love big and chunky. I love stamp sets and images and elements that use a lot of real estate. So this says words fail. Oh, that's hard to see upside down. Words fail to express my gratitude. Here we have sending flowers and thinking of you, and then thank you so much. So I'm going to use the thank you so much. And I've already mounted it, and I did grab both Black Memento and Blackberry Bliss, but I think we're going to stick with the Blackberry Bliss. And the piece of cardstock I have here is basic white. It's the regular basic white, and it is 3/4 of an inch. So the length doesn't necessarily matter because we're going to cut it down, but the width is 3/4 of an inch. And if you are not confident with your stamping, you probably want to go ahead and stamp this on a larger piece of paper and then cut it down to 3/4 of an inch. By the way, the stamps are red rubber cling, which means that they're red rubber. So there's cushion there already, and it will adhere to your clear blocks. And then there's a sticker that lets you see through what you're actually stamping. So here's how, this is what it looks like. You actually mount them yourself. So you'll get this sheet. It is very, very sticky, so you have to be careful when you're adhering them, because if you misplace it when you're adhering, it will rip the foam if you try to take it off. So you have to be really careful with it, but that keeps it sticky and useful for a long time. And then the red rubber comes on a sheet like this, and it's already pre-cut. So you just pop it out like this. And then there's a backing, if you've not seen this done before. And then you would remove the adhesive backing here and then line it up and stick it down. And like I said, it's not a difficult process, but the one thing to be careful of when you're doing it is to make sure that you get it placed right. Placement is everything, because if you adhere it, it does not like to come off. So you don't get really a second chance. Maybe if someone knows a trick, but I don't know that trick. All right, so let's go ahead and give our sentiment some placement. And you know, I'm trying to think of how, no, I was gonna say I'm gonna make it a little bit of a banner, but I think I might want to tuck this under just a little bit, just under those flowers a little bit. And it's going to be a little bit tight. So yeah, let's just give it a straight line. You could use your Stampin' Trimmer if you're not confident making cuts freehand, but I don't need it to be absolutely perfect. Oh, Beth, you are so right. Beth says, I hated it when we had to cut that red rubber. That is so true. when cling stamps first came out, you entirely had to cut the red rubber. All right, trying to see where I like this. And I think I'm gonna need to make it just a little closer because we're close to that edge of the card. And again, we don't want any of the elements falling outside of the edge of the card, because then we can't put it in an envelope. But I think this is pretty good placement. I was considering dimensionals, but I think it would be too much, and the flowers need to be dimensional. They really pop. I like that a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive to the back side here, and we're just going to kind of place it where we need it to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of our circle, and we're just going to glue it right down. So it's not ideal to add adhesive after the flowers have been placed. So this is a little unorthodox, but I was really not sure where I wanted to place the flowers. So, all right, we're going to drop this right down in the center of our card. Once again, we're just making sure that none of the elements are hanging over the edge of the card. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm in love. So this is what we have so far. And then stick with me because we have a little bit of a secret for the inside, but this is super duper lovely. I'm loving it. All right, let's bring in what we have remaining. And remember, we have the flower that we fussy cut. And you will get, if you have that designer series paper, you'll have 2 whole sheets of the larger flower and 2 whole sheets of the smaller image. So really, you could make this card with just paper, because you could fussy cut these for the front, right? All right, so let's talk about the secret for the inside. So I have here remaining our piece of 3 1/4 by 3 1/2 Melon Mambo, and then the 3 by 3 1/4 basic white, and we're going to layer them up. No stamping, so we're actually done with our stamping. Our stamping was the sentiment. And we're going to put this right down. Let's flip this over. We're just going to line it up and leave an even border right in the center. And then we're going to add, and I'm going to put this on dimensionals too. So we're going to add our fussy cut flower, and nothing more, nothing more. We could have used a leaf here. I didn't have the forethought to cut one out, but we could actually totally do that, because the leaves and the flowers have the detail already. All you have to do is die cut them. The detail is already there. And let's give this a couple more. I don't want it to stink. We're going to be a bit generous here with our dimensionals. And then we're just going to plop this right down in the center. Now you could, if you wanted, you could add another sentiment or another flower, but we're not going to do that today. And I think we're done with the dimensionals. And then this piece is going to be like a peekaboo. We're going to put this right inside here, right on the center. And so we're just going to add adhesive to the reverse side here. Going to go down that edge, and that should be plenty enough. And I'm just going to hold this down, and I kind of want it in the center. You could put it wherever you wanted. Anywhere along here would work. And I'm just going to be careful not to go all the way to the fold line, because then it might not fold shut, and we don't want that either. All right, and then finally, so can you see what we have going? I love this card. We have a little surprise in the center, and there's room here for you to write a message or add another stamped sentiment. I like to leave my cards empty and then add an expression when I know what the occasion is, or I know what I want to say. All right, so the last thing we have to do is add some embellishments, and any of these colors will work. They all coordinate, so it's a matter of taste. And I think that this would make it really matchy-matchy. However, I don't know, maybe the contrast, since we have so much color here, maybe the contrast would be nice. I'm thinking of that yellow. Yeah, let's do it. So these are adhesive back sequins. Let's pull it right off the sheet for a moment so I can get a good grip here. Oh, and by the way, they're graduating. So can you see that they're different sizes? There are some smaller ones and then larger in all 4 of the colors. And I think they're ambiguous enough that you could use this with most of the yellows, and this could be the peach pie or even the pumpkin pie. I think this could be granny apple green. It could be, let's see, granny apple green, maybe lemon lolly. All right, so let's go ahead and, oh, we could do the green too. No, I think I'll go ahead and stick with the yellow. I'm gonna stick one there, and then I think 2 smaller ones here at the bottom. You could do more even. I just, for some reason, 3 is my number, and so that's what I usually do. All right, now we have a finished card. Oh yeah, Julie, yes. That, I've forgotten about those days. I think I have PTSD because that was really bad cutting them out. And if you made a mistake, there's like really not a lot you can do about it because it's a done bun. All right, so here is our finished card. What do you think? I think it's lovely. And there's our little secret. And then the inside. Very, very cute. I might have put this on the wrong edge. Well, there's not a right or wrong, but I think I intended it. So what do you think? Do you like this card? I think it's super cute. Let's go ahead and talk about, thank you for the hearts. Thank you guys. Let's talk about what we used again. So we used the Simply Zinnia Bundle. And that bundle number is 163480. It comes with Zinnia stamp set and coordinating dies, which are fantastic. You could make it just with the dies if you wanted. We used the adhesive back shiny sequins. All of these colors go, so they're simply fantastic. And then we used Blackberry Bliss ink. Do you guys remember when the ink pads look like this? I have not replaced it. I think it's getting about time to replace it. It's getting a little bit sticky, but I can't tell you how long I've had this. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Beth. Thank you so much. Yeah, and so this has a lot of paper, and we have a lot of paper in our stash, right? So this is something that you could do even with any cardstock and paper that you have in your stash. And then I wanted to also remind, let's see, we have the starter kit special going. So the starter kit is only $99, and this month until May 31st, you'll get all of these in color things with it. So it's the 5 stamp pads, you'll get a pack of the In Color cardstock, a pack of In Color Designer Series paper, and the In Color Stampin' Up markers. It's a fantastic deal. Already the starter kit's a great deal because you get $125. It's completely customizable, so you choose the products that you want to go in your kit, and then $99 and no shipping. So fantastic. And then free shipping on Tuesday. That date was May 21st. So on orders of $75 and above, you'll get free shipping. So don't forget about that too. You can pool your orders together and ship for free. Oh, thank you, Julie. All right, let's go ahead and turn our camera up so I can thank you and show my gratitude for you showing up for me on Saturday. Let's hold this up. I don't want to drop you. One time I think I dropped you on your head, and to be honest, it probably happened more than once. So all right, you guys, thank you so much for showing up and hanging out in my craft room with me, for allowing me to be crafty with you today on a different day than we normally are, and for your feedback about Saturdays. I think you guys are onto something, so I appreciate that. If you need anything, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. And I will definitely answer them for you. If you don't have a demonstrator of your own and you would like a catalog, leave a comment below and I'll make sure that you get one. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that you have lots of crafting in your craft room this weekend. I will see you next week with more fun. There we go. Oh, you're so welcome, Nympha. Have a very, very great weekend, all of you, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye, guys.